Hi everyone. I had this message come through just now. I was sitting here out on our little patio and the sun's coming up behind me, as you can see, so I'm not trying to be all like whatever. I literally was sitting here, and so I've just woken up. I'm not at all put together for you, because I think this message is more important than me worrying about that. So quite honestly, I might be using the sun for a little bit of vanity because it covers up and shades a little bit of how I am. So it's a win-win. I feel more comfortable being here with you, and you get the sun's energy coming through. And I love, my belief is that these beautiful orbs and beautiful colors are light language coming in. And look, it's like an arrow grounding this message down. And it's not because I'm so important. I am simply the channel of this message, and it was just given to me to learn and to contemplate. And as I contemplate it, I'm sharing it with you. The message is that I read a couple of days ago about energetically with the geomagnetic storms and the high high proton light that's flooding into Earth right now. It's some of the most powerful. It's some of the most powerful in like constant bursts. If you look at the Schumann right now, it's pretty quiet. However, the magnetosphere is extremely active with the geomagnetic storm. This is all affecting our physical worlds. We know it affects our weather, it affects our satellite systems. High geomagnetic storms will take out satellites, internet will be wonky. But no one ever really talks about what happens to the body part, to the body. And all of that has effects on the body. It erupts things in our bodies. You will see in these next few weeks, you will see the earth shake. You were already seeing flooding. We're going to see more fires. The earth is literally reacting with these energies as our bodies are. And because the energies are so intense and we're being helped from our sun to bring our bodies up to that highest frequency, to then step into a completely different earth, a completely different life experience. I look forward to that, because right now life feels really hard and I'm sitting in paradise. I've got the Caribbean Ocean a bike ride away. Unfortunately, I do have some traffic right there that's really freaking annoying, but in my world, that looks perfect. There are parts that aren't in the physical realm, but there's a lot of parts that I'm feeling unsettled with where we are. I'm feeling like it's time to keep moving and at my own personal journey with my family to get to, but to move towards the next inspired action from our soul. And the soul is saying for us to move on, to leave this physical place that we're in Mexico. So the message that came over is that we will be receiving enough energy in the next couple of weeks into the Lionsgate portal, which is August 8th. So the next few weeks, and then it's going to be really intense, really, really intense. And the reason is because we have to be, quote unquote, ready energetically to step into that next evolution. And it works out time-wise in linear time on my side for this urgency that I feel in our physical life is a reflection of the energy of this portal that we're in, of this massive shift in frequency that we are about we are in, actually. We are going to advance in consciousness in what would be similar to a 3-year linear time lifespan. So I thought that was really interesting, and I thought, oh my gosh, this could be intense. So in the next 3 weeks, we are going to advance in consciousness what would take us normally in the 3D world 3 years. So here's the message that came in as a Hang on one second, let me get my dog. Here's the message that came in. Come here. That's going to be intense for many of us because of this. Majority of the world, as we have known it, operates in a very stable and complacent space. That world, we could say, is not quite aware yet that they create their lives, so they are living in the fantasy that I know that I have lived, and probably many of us, and trying to uphold the standards of this thing called life that we've been taught for it to look like. And that then leaves us in a place of complacency and stability, and chalked up to that's how you do it. And yet there were those of us who were like, man, staying safe and staying like, to us it's like that's the safe way to do it. Why would you do it like that? Because most people do it like that and they aren't really happy, so their vibrations are very low, so they close down, and then they wonder why they live in anxiety and to keep up this life that really doesn't resonate with them. But there are those of us who already saw that, and we were like, this isn't, no way. We're going to go out and create our life. And everybody said that we were crazy and gave us all of the, the passive aggressive thoughts about who we are for living that way. And yet what we have found on our journeys is by living that way, we advance our growth so much, changing our perceptions, moving around, whether that's physically or moving in spiritually and consciously, moves, quite frankly, it moves mountains. And many of us have moved mountains and mountains of denser energies out of our fields as we've come up in frequency. And as we've come up in frequency, we've begun to understand how important this growth is, to get out in the world, to perceive different things, to have different experiences, to immerse ourselves in the experiences that we are called to from our souls, because those souls are taking us to the very pathway that leads us into more ascension, into higher frequencies, so we can see more. And that growth has been the biggest gift we have ever given ourselves, because we perceive the world from such a different place from our five senses. Because our sixth sense, so to speak, in those terms, but our soul now has taken the lead, and that has taken us to places we can't even yet imagine or touch. But we know we're going, because that's how we operate. We have gotten to that level of growth. So 3 years to us in normal time is a lot of freaking growth, a lot. So if we are growing in consciousness, think of all the things and the experiences you would have as the version of you from 10 months ago. That version, if she were to stay in that place and continue to work on her own evolution the way that she was, in 3 years, do you think you would be somewhere so completely different consciously that you would be a different person? Chances are, if you're watching this video, you're weird like me, and you're like, absolutely. And the weird means you're supernatural. You know that you're the creator. You know that it is your world. Everyone's just living in it, and a reflection of you in that moment. Every single thing we see outside of us is a direct reflection of what we're creating from within. We have full ownership and full responsibility for our lives. So between now and 3 weeks from now, we are going to step into the person we would have been 3 years from now if we hadn't stepped onto this quick ascension journey, this conscious ascension journey, and be working with this light coming in, be working with nurturing yourself, be working with going within and watching the visions that are coming to you. Whether those visions, if you're a sentient being, you're going to see more visions. I pretty much see a movie of my life as it is now going forward, so I can see so much further down the road without it being really clear on how I get there. And yet when I tune into meditation, I can come back to this present moment, and I'm bringing the vision I see and me in this present moment closer and closer and closer. And my belief is in these, and my understanding is that in these next few weeks, we are getting prepared for that moment to meet where we're like, oh my gosh, I've caught up to the timeline of 3 years from now. So we're being advanced quite a bit. That's a big one. So here's what you, here's what we all want to be working on. Okay, this is new because I haven't gotten this, but morning, buenos dias. What you really want to be working on in this moment, and what I need to be working on, is being really, really conscious of the discomfort that comes up. Because I know for me, discomfort is like, how am I going to do this? How am I going to do this? How's this all going to work out? I don't know. I'm really excited, but I'm also like, oh, I'm so curious, but it's not fear anymore. It's just more curiosity and frustration because I'm ready. Whatever that means to this next, I'm just ready for this next chapter in whatever it is. So we're all feeling some kind of like antsy energy that's going to be answered pretty quickly. It is up to us. It'll come faster if we stay out of the thought process of, what does this look like? How is it going to be? And we really step back into allowing ourselves to flow through our days at this point, being out in nature, soaking up these energies, being conscious of them, bringing them in, grounding them down, and being with yourself as much as you can in the ways that ignite your soul. And if that's just resting, there's many of us that are just resting at this point, because that is what's necessary and that is what is required, because we're kind of getting to the end of our wire. If it feels like that for you, it feels like that for a lot of us. Just a few more weeks till something shifts, and you'll feel that shift, and then you'll know you've stepped into that future self. From 3 years linear time from now, that will be where you step into those shoes, my bare feet probably, because I'm mostly barefoot. And that's when we start to rise. And we start to rise en masse. And we start to help those who are still living the lives day by day by day. There's nothing wrong with that, but we're here to show them a better way. Thank you for being here. Love to you. Mwah. Bye.